welcome to part 4 of Top Rope Reality, the list.
Let us not miss.
And let's get started with the PWI 500 this week. We're gonna do number 51 on the list. Who come in number 51?
That is the Demon Kane. 7 foot tall, 323 pounds, 21-year pro. That man ain't gonna stop.
He's not gonna stop.
21-year pro, and he was number 42 last year. He's going backwards.
He's gonna go backwards. He's gonna go backwards some more because a lot of this is already coming past.
Right.
He was the director of operations. He was the corporate stooge for the authorities since 2013.
Right.
He was the instrumental in the success of this year's 500 number 1, Seth Rollins. Before and after he became the world title. He won the world title at WrestleMania 31.
Yep.
And he was still doing the authorities' bidding. But shares in the fans' resentment of Rollins.
That's true.
But now he's a good face. He's just eking it out.
Yep.
I think 33 will be it for Kane. But he will definitely drop from 51
He will.
next year.
Because he ain't doing nothing right
He's
now.
not doing nothing. He's in 6-man tags.
Yeah.
And then he's going to be in the Andre Giant Battle Royal.
Probably.
That's going to be it for Kane.
Yep. Let's talk about the top 15 predictions on what he will look like in 2020.
2020.
With the number 12 being the NXT will replace SmackDown as the number 2 shot. Way back in the early 2000s, SmackDown used to be better than Raw, but those days are long gone. Now SmackDown is barely holding on as WWE's secondary show, with the time and channel changing every few years. To reduce the exposure of the main event level stars, WWE will most likely scrap SmackDown and replace it with the highly successful NXT. Maybe the NXT show won't air in its current takeover network special style, but it will be the breeding ground for future Raw superstars. So the bold prediction is NXT will air on Thursdays on the USA Network and will beat Raw in the ratings every week.
That's a bold statement.
Very bold statement. But SmackDown in that very same time slot is not beating Raw.
But maybe the brand split will help.
It might help. It really might.
But we'll have to see.
We will.
I mean, if that happens, if the writers are over there or the wrestlers over there, and then Vince goes, you move over here to Raw, you come to Raw, we're going to make Raw better. We cannot have Raw beat SmackDown.
You mean you can't have SmackDown be Raw?
No, I mean, if SmackDown's winning, Vince will just steal everything he thinks is what's beating Raw and bring them to Raw.
There you go.
But that doesn't work.
Yes.
Sorry.
And now we're going to continue with the 13 biggest matches WWE should have booked in the 80s, but didn't.
And I noticed that last week when I said, hey, we missed them.
Uh-oh.
So it becomes bi-weekly.
Bi-weekly. Number 11, the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase taking on Bret the Hitman Hart. These two men tangled a number of times throughout their WWE careers, but most of their matches came in the early part of the next decade and never with the proper promotion. The closest the two came to having a long-term program was at the 1990 Survivor Series and are at the beginning of Bret's singles push, just after WrestleMania 7. Hart and DiBiase were the final two combatants for their teams in the 1990 Survivor Series elimination match between the Dream Team and the $1 Million Team, respectively. After a thrilling back-and-forth finale, DiBiase used Bret's own momentum against him and rolled through a crossbody for the 1, the 2, and the 3. The two also had a Saturday night's main event singles match in mid-1991 when Bret began his solo career, and DiBiase had been partnered with sensational Sherry. On both occasions, DiBiase was in the middle of a program with both Dusty Rhodes and later Virgil and Piper, whom actually made an appearance in the Saturday night's main event match in 1991. Had Bret's first singles push been given time in 1988 or 89, a program with DiBiase would have been a strong possibility.
It would have been a good match.
It would have been. What happened?
It would have been a main event. Could have main event WrestleMania at the title on the line.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean, when you're facing Bret, I mean, you're just facing him to face him. When you're in the program with Dusty and them. I understand that. So next time.
But see, at least back then you used to face people just to face them. Nowadays, you're in a program with them, you'll face them every week.
Yeah, so we're going to do the 500 split. You'll get a win, and you'll get a win. You'll get a win, you'll get a win. You'll get a win, okay, y'all done finished? Are you even? Okay, we're done. No. I'm going to beat you 8 times, you maybe be once, and then we're going to go on to something else.
Right.
This back and forth crowd, just like with Miz and Dolph.
Yep.
Miz gets the win on Raw, Dolph gets the win back on SmackDown. No, I'm sorry. Somebody has to be dominant of the two.
That's true.
Jeez, but they gone away from that. Maybe they need to
I
go
guess we're
back.
jumping up here.
We're going to jump to the predicting the next 10 WWE champions. And this list may already be wrong because the next one may be Dean Ambrose.
Might be. Number 10, Roman Reigns. They're saying for WrestleMania 32. It's a foregone conclusion that Roman Reigns is walking out of WrestleMania 32 as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion. What happens then? Despite having trouble getting the fan reaction that he wants him to, he'll be booed at WrestleMania, then settle into relatively positive but timid reactions afterwards. Reigns will still be given a semi-lengthy run with that belt. His main feud during the spring will be with Dean Ambrose, who will finally turn on his former Shield partner to provide a fresh program. WWE's decision makers will hope remove some competition when it comes to Reigns getting the top face reaction in the company. By removing the top face, which is Dean Ambrose. Right?
Yes.
Ambrose will be unable to take the championship from Roman Reigns, but after he fails, an old foe will return to action and emerge as a challenger. Who will that be? Because, ladies and gentlemen, number 9 is Seth Rollins. SummerSlam 2016. Seth Rollins will return as a babyface and in his first match back in action capture the Money in the Bank ladder match briefcase for a second time. The following night on Raw, Rollins will confront Reigns, and for the first time in 2 years, both men will stand before the WWE Universe as fan favorites. That won't mean that their past issues will be forgotten or that the fans will support them both equally. Rollins will be a huge favorite. Nevertheless, the former architect of the Shield will take the high road, officially cashing in his briefcase for SummerSlam and giving Reigns a month's notice. The match itself won't go as smoothly. It'll be an exciting back and forth encounter that will see the fans yay and boo in Rollins' favor. But when Dean Ambrose comes down to the ring, the audience will know that something is up. Ambrose will attack Reigns with the referee's back turned, and an unaware Rollins will pick up the victory. The following night on Raw, Rollins will offer Reigns a rematch. In that bout, the truth will be revealed. Rollins and Ambrose will come together to destroy the former WWE champion, cementing an alliance and leaving Reigns as the solo babyface of the former Shield members.
It still won't get over. Sorry. Reigns needs to turn heel.
He's got to be the 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 heel.
Dadgummit!
Paging Justin Carter. Paging Justin Carter.
Right.
Let's go on to March Macho Madness Tournament. The third set of 8 superstars who will be in the tournament in a few short weeks.
Yes, we have Goldberg, world champion.
Michael P.S. Hayes, United States champion.
I did not know he was U.S. champion. Did not have a clue.
Know who you beat?
Who?
Lex Luger.
What?
Yeah.
That's kind of random. That's a tag team man right there.
WCW loved him, and they let him have the U.S. title.
That's random.
Yes.
Exactly.
And Luger beat him for the title.
Ooh.
I think he beat Luger for the title. Luger might have beat him back. You know how that goes.
Kevin Nash, world champion.
Scott Hall, United States champion.
Jeff Jarrett, world champion.
Barry Windham, one of the best, if not greatest, United States champions.
The Giant, the world champion.
And Eddie Guerrero, United States champion.
Very good.
Next week we will do the final 8. And then the tournament.
Oh, yeah, the final 8.
The tournament will be set.
Final 8. I was like, final 4! We're not there yet.
Not there yet.
Very far away, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have...
Buy, sell, hold. Woo! There's some interesting ones this week.
So explain the rules again to us. Hold.
We discuss a topic.
Okay.
You look at the topic, you say, I would buy that. I believe it, I would buy it. I don't believe it, I'm going to sell it. Or I'm not too sure, I may hold it.
All right.
Like if you held it, if you have it already, you'd hold it. If you didn't hold it, if you have it already, you'd buy it or sell it. So.
Gotcha.
Got it? Good.
Gotcha. So we're going to start at the bottom. We're going to go with Michael Elgin's 2-year deal with the New Japan.
I would buy that. I think he's going to be the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Well, now because we don't have AJ, and they do enjoy putting it on the American people.
Yes.
So
Michael Eglin's 2-year run in New Japan will lead to more years, and he will gain championships. He will be a top star, which may lead him to the WWE.
WWE.
So,
So yes, I also would buy that. That is very believable, and it is a very good situation to have. I think he's in a very good spot right now.
Yes.
Dean Ambrose becoming WWE champion at Roadblock. Buy, sell, or hold. Buy, sell, or hold.
I'm gonna hold that right now.
Because you want to believe in it, but you're a little leery, right?
I'm a little leery. I'm afraid this is a trick, and that
get people's hopes up.
Just get people's hopes up, and Reigns is still gonna. I know it doesn't matter, but Reigns is gonna get booed if it's facing his friend or facing her.
True.
But I'm gonna hold on this right now. I mean, I've got to see what happens, and maybe after next Saturday. Be wrong. Maybe Dean Ambrose is World Heavyweight Champion. I will definitely. I will buy a lot of that.
I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy that. He's been on the cusp for a long time, and I think maybe they're finally realizing that they should have pulled the trigger a long time ago.
The cheers he got when he had the briefcase. I mean, the world title in his hands when him and Seth did the ladder match at Money in the Bank. I mean, it slipped out, and people want it so bad. I mean, it's been there.
Right.
And he held the belt for a while just when he stole it from Seth. They want it. And so what if it changes WrestleMania to a Fatal 4-Way? It makes it better. Then you don't know who. And you can boo. If you're booing, you think you're booing Reigns, you can be booing Hunter. It doesn't make any difference.
Right.
But if you get Hunter and Reigns out there, you know who's going to get booed.
Yep. Next, Wade Barrett gives notice to WWE and will not re-sign his contract.
I'm buying that because that's best for Wade. Wade has done nothing. He's been Intercontinental Champion, the best he can do. Go off, do something else, come back, maybe a totally different story.
Might be. I also buy that. I think that honestly is the best thing for Barrett. He can go off back to Great Britain, or he can do Ring of Honor. He can go to Japan. Any of those type.
Oh yes.
I mean, New Japan needs a lot of new people right now. Yeah. So there you go.
And Wade would not be a bad one to get. I mean, he just was not used correctly in the WWE.
Right. Next, Shane McMahon being back.
Oh. I am buying that.
Yes, I buy a bunch of that. I am very happy about that.
That is good.
That is the best for business.
Yes, that is best. It is best for business, and they need to keep him around.
Next,
Chicago's going to be hot this Monday because they're in Chicago, and Shane's supposed to be there, and so is Undertaker. It's going to be hot.
Next is the Global Cruiserweight Series.
I'm going to hold this right now because I like to get some names first. I hope it's a good. I would think it would be a good buy. But I want to see who it is. If you're just taking people who are behind the scenes and people who are all NXT right now, then
Here's the way I'll put it: the Global Cruiserweight Series. I buy the concept.
Oh yes, definitely.
I hold on the actual execution of the concept.
Okay, I'll go with you on that too. That's how I'm thinking too. Yes.
We're buying and holding.
Yeah, we're buying and holding. We're not going to sell it because we want to keep it.
I mean, it's a good idea, but it's got to be executed correctly.
It does.
You got to hold on the
execution. If you throw some Evolve people that work for Evolve and don't have nothing to do with WWE and you're involved in it, that makes it better.
Exactly. Evolve involved.
Exactly.
I like it. Last but not least,
even throw some people from AAA in Mexico.
Exactly.
I mean,
the people that don't have concrete contracts with other companies, they're just per appearance with AAA or with Japan or something, that they can come around and do that, and just get a paycheck.
Come in there and lose the first round because it's been a 10-week tournament.
Exactly.
You can lose one of the matches and go back to what you're doing. Yeah.
Exactly.
And make it feel more global.
It would be. It would make it do that.
So,
last but not least, the WrestleMania main event that we currently have of Roman Reigns trying to get the belt from Triple H. Do you buy, sell, or hold the current main event?
I sell that very quickly.
Yes, absolutely. I would sell that. It's not going to do right for business. It's not going to be good for business at all. It's not going to do good for Roman. And it will, I think if it's just the two of them in that main event, it will go down in one of history as one of the worst main events because it's not going to be executed the way they needed to be done.
When the match was made, people go, Roman's getting the belt.
Right. They need to have more unpredictability. That's why adding in this title match at Roadblock makes things a little more unpredictable going into the situation. What's going to happen now? After
you have like
Roadblock,
3 weeks. If Dean wins the belt, you have 3 weeks to build.
Right. Now, after Roadblock, if he doesn't win the belt and is still on Triple H, then it's back to being predictable. But if he wins the belt, it's unpredictable. What do? Dean should have to face Brock because that's the scheduled match already. But Triple H has a right for the belt, and so does Roman because he was the Royal Rumble winner. So you have that fatal four-way. Then,
or do we have Brock versus Dean? Roman versus
Versus Triple
Triple H. The two winners meet for the title.
There you go.
So.
Well, there's different ways to do it.
So you could have Dean and Brock, and then if Dean gets by Brock, then it'd be Dean in the main event, and Hunter and Roman. It'd be
Kind of like how they did with Brett and Luger having a wrestle, and then they go off.
I mean, there's a lot of ways to this. If Dean becomes champion, you either do that way, or you straight out fatal 4-way.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm the former champion. I want a rematch. He won it Royal Rumble. He gets a match. You're facing Brock Brock's on the contract, so he gets a match.
Yep.
Fatal 4-way straight fight.
There you go. Because it's already supposed to be a street fight with Brock. So
Yes.
you add that stipulation into it. Fatal 4-way street fight. I would buy that all day.
Yes, I would, and I love
Because
it.
that is unpredictable. Does Triple H get his belt back? Does Brock, who's very
Do
dominant,
they give it to Brock?
does he get his belt back?
Who was a
because
big
he's-
name, you know?
Exactly. Or do we keep going with the Roman Reigns choo-choo train?
Does Roman take it? Does Roman win? Does Roman get his WrestleMania moment?
Exactly. If Roman wins, who does he pin? Because it would be perfect if Roman pinned Dean, if they want to continue trying to make Roman the face, pin Dean, and then Monday Night on Raw, they go in for the handshake and stuff, and Dean's pissed off because he's the one that got pinned, and he turns on Roman.
He gives him the dirty deeds instead of fighting it off. He gives it to him. Boom.
There you go. Then there's ways to work around it. So
Oh, yeah.
If this is a fatal 4-way, I'm going to be very interested.
Because right now, if Hunter and them are the main event, well, after Undertaker and them, that's pretty much the last big match, unless the triple threat ladies, then, that'll be it for me. I mean, I'll watch it, knowing the outcome, which is, I hate that. But,
Absolutely.
I'd rather stay a fatal 4-way than you, like you said. There's
There's
four people. You don't
four
know what way they
possibilities.
could go. Yes.
Exactly.
So much better.
Because there are 4 main contenders right there.
And I want to give them credit. I hope this has been the mindset since the beginning.
Right. If this has been the mindset going into the whole time of getting it put on Triple H and keep taking it away from Roman, and then, now Dean's got it. We're still getting away from Roman. What's Roman going to do? Is he going to get that belt championship match now? And,
It's a lot of credit, though.
It is a lot of credit. I mean, because I think we're overthinking it.
We are overthinking it more.
I think they just said, "Oh crap, let's just try something else."
Yes.
And but sometimes that's the best way. Like with Daniel Bryan, they said, "Oh crap, let's do something else," and that's what happened for Daniel Bryan. So you just never know. I mean, we'll just have to see what happens, and in the coming weeks, it's going to be very interesting.
It is.
But
but after next Saturday, it'll be set in stone. Then.
yes. But anyway, speaking of next week, episode 95, we talk always as ringside news.
What happens? I know what comes.
Who's not going to resign? Who's fired? Who's hired?
Who shows up?
I mean, I've even heard rumor. I haven't gotten concrete evidence, but I've heard rumor that Damian Sandow's asked for his release. I don't know if it's true or not, but I have heard
check it
this.
and see.
We got to look into that. WrestleMania review on part 2, 21, 22, 23, and 24. And part 3, we talk about it. Another wrestler who's now in the wrong promotion. Plus,
yes, it's back.
Plus, it's back. We review wrestling theme songs, word for word. We will not sing it, but we will give you the actual words and does that make sense? Yes. Ladies and gentlemen. And we're talking about the demolition. Here comes action. Here comes the smash.
Yes.
The demolition theme will be next week, and the 4th and final set of 8 for the March Macho Madness tournament will be in part 4. Plus a whole lot more, as always, in part 4.
It is. It's the list that doesn't miss.
Never misses.
But I want to thank each and every one of you for watching this week. And we'll catch you here next week right at the top row. I'm Mike Hogan.
And I'm just a con.
We'll see you next week. Click it or no clickers.
Click. Until next week.
Yes, I do.